I'm Dave Bering, Technical Director here at TriStar, and welcome to another Tech Talk. Today we're talking about materials for food processing and packaging equipment. About as diverse as you can get, not only in terms of the polymers that we use, but in terms of the application. In food processing and packaging, you can have applications all the way down into cryogenics, for instance in fast freeze applications, and then all the way up to very hot applications like in ovens and fry equipment and so forth. So there is a great diversity in the polymers that we offer, and as you probably have already figured out from some of our other tech talks, the application of polymers is driven pretty much on temperature. So when we look at the temperature applications, we are kind of driven by what's available that works into those conditions. And then the second driving force obviously is, are those materials approved by different agencies that are involved, FDA, USDA, NSF in some applications. All of these things have to be taken into consideration as we review the right polymer for your application. Now, some of the materials that are very common are things like the UHMW family, all of the tie bars, for instance, from Quadrant. Very, very common in applications for everything from star wheels to wear strips on conveyor lines, small bearings. But the whole family of UHMW, of course, limited temperatures, and it's a little more difficult to design with it, only because if you're using it for a bearing in a press installation, you've got a lot of thermal issues to consider. So that's where we move into the next family of materials, which are going to take us to some slightly higher temperatures. They still fall into the category of engineered polymers, but things like your nylons, your acetal materials like Delrin, Acetron, your polyester materials. These are all materials that are in the 200-degree range and very diverse in terms of where you can put them. The polyester materials like Erdolite and Erdolite TX are taking a lot of new applications where the acetals and nylons were used at one point in time. Polyesters are less susceptible to moisture. They're strong materials. They have very good abrasion resistance. So for everything from pistons on sausage filling machines to star wheels and bushings and just really any number of applications. Nylons, acetals, and PET, the polyesters, and the PBT, which is like the Hydlar material, all of those are very, very good, very acceptable, very commonly used in food processing and packaging. And the higher end materials, when you start looking at things where you're exposing the materials to 300 plus degrees, now we have to start looking into materials like PEEK, some of the PTFE materials. If you haven't seen the Tech Talk on Rulon and food processing, take a look at that one, because that deals primarily with the high temperature applications in the food and processing and packaging world. You can see here in front of me just a diversity of applications, little star wheels or little guide wheels for filling machines, cam locators, again for filling type bottling machines. This is a combination product of a Rulon material being used as the bearing inside of a tie bar material. So you've got the durability, the abrasion resistance of the tie bar and the low friction of the Rulon combined into one part. Spools, again, for primarily locating, fixturing on filling machines. And another product that we make here at TriStar is our UltraCert for conveyor lines. If you want to get rid of rolling elements and grease and constant feed lubrication systems on your conveyor systems, we have a whole family of inserts that literally drop right into your existing flange mount and pillow block housings. And the very simplest of forms, you just stick it in and put your shaft through, put a lock collar on, and you've got a self-lubricating, maintenance-free insert bearing. So this is just some of the materials. These are all food-grade materials. They're all approved for direct contact. And in front of me here you have probably the materials that are going to solve the majority of the processing equipment problems. But again, we have materials that will go into the high temperatures as well as materials that will go into cryogenic temperatures. So food processing, food packaging, a big marketplace, a lot of applications for polymers. So if you have any questions on what we would recommend and what would be the best and most suitable material for your application, give us a call, talk to us about your application. You can go to our website and fill out our bearing worksheets or structural material worksheets. Send that into engineering, and we can give you some quick solutions on what you could use in your application. Thanks for joining us for another Tech Talk, and we look forward to seeing you again.